What's up YouTube, it's TF Collector, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition Deluxe Class Bumblebee from Transformers Devastation. And before we take a look at the figure itself, we will first take a look at the packaging that he does come in. So up front here we have Bumblebee in Robot and Alt mode, transforms in 24 steps. There you have Studio Series Devastation Bumblebee Hasbro. There on this side of the box, a profile image of Bumblebee. There's his name. Studio Series Devastation. On the other side, you have the rest of that image. Autobot logo there. Studio Series once again in Deluxe class in lots of different languages. On the back of the packaging, we have a screen grab from the video game Transformers Devastation Bumblebee with a brief bio. Bumblebee is ready to take down the Decepticons. Some more product images here showing him in Robot and Alt modes. Authentic barcode Hasbro. On the bottom, nothing to mention. On the top, Devastation Bumblebee Takara Tomy. And one final thing to mention before we dive into the figure, he does of course include his instruction manual here, Transformers Studio Series Devastation Bumblebee. There's Bumblebee 8 and up on the back, Takara Tomy and Hasbro. And now moving to the figure itself, here is Bumblebee as he appeared in Transformers Devastation. And this is a very solid little figure and I can't wait to review him. So let's go ahead and get into it. Right up front here, you can see you have some silver here on the front with the headlights there done in more of a gray. The grille is more silvery, and this is a little more gray in my opinion, but cel-shaded windshields. Hooray, that looks really good. And the windows painted in blue. You have some gray tires here. As you can see, they roll very nicely. Autobot logo up top. Coming around to the back, even the back windshield painted in the blue there with some red tail lights. Very nice. As you can see, pretty simple, but looks pretty cool. There is the top. There is the bottom. And as I mentioned, he does, of course, roll very nicely. Overall, a very nice little alt mode for Bumblebee. And as far as accessories go, Bumblebee comes with 3. The first of which is this larger blaster here. As you can see, done in black plastic, but painted in gray. So you can see, there's the first blaster he comes with. And then he comes with 2 identical blasters here. Once again, done in black plastic, but painted over in gray. So you can see there how those look. And these are compatible with your Belushes. But these can all be stored here in Alt mode. This big one will just tab up top here, like so. And then what you can do with these other 2 is you can see they have a black tab there, and you have little slots here on either side. You can just plug those in to each side, like so, and there you go. Bumblebee is all armed up and ready for battle. And now rapid firing through some alt mode comparisons. First, here he is with the Studio Series Devastation side swipe, so you can see how those 2 look together. With the Studio Series Devastation Wheeljack, and I always like seeing these 2 characters together as they were the first 2 characters to appear in G1. With the Studio Series Gamer Edition Optimus Prime, and obviously this scale is not very accurate, but as you can see, both very nice figures, but yes, the scale is quite off here in alt mode. And last but not least, with the figure he's being compared to the most, the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. And as you can see, the differences here. I do think overall I like this alt mode better. I know a lot of people are loving this guy way better than this guy. I'm not one of those people. I think this alt mode does look better. This guy, however, did get the better paint out of the 2 in my opinion, with the cel-shaded windshields and the brighter yellow. I think this new figure actually got way better paint, but as far as the design of the figure goes, I do prefer this more Volkswagen Beetle looking alt mode for my Bumblebee. But let me know which one you prefer in the comments. And for our non-figure comparison, here he is with how he appeared in Transformers Devastation, so you can see how close they got this alt mode to what they were shooting for. And I think that's about all to say for Bumblebee here in alt mode. Overall looks very nice, love the paint, and yeah, just overall looks great. But let's go ahead and transform him. So the first thing we're going to do is take these pieces here and just untab them and bring them out to the side. You see tab slot connection there, going into alt mode. Do the same thing on this side. Pop this piece out like so, and then what we can do is come back here to this piece and pop it up, just get it up out of the up and out of the way for now, if I can speak English. Now what we're going to do is basically this piece is tabbed underneath this hood. So you want to untab that. As you can see, there's some more tab spots that will untab, and just bring all that down like so. And now we can work on the legs. So first we will split the leg like so. Then what we can do is get these pieces up out of the way, and we can take these pieces and they will shift upwards like so. You want to make sure you get these out of the way so that tab doesn't get in the way, but just try to get those out of the way the best you can. And sometimes it likes to pop off. That's actually the first time that's ever happened, but of course, while I'm reviewing, that would happen. Why would it not? Why not? Why not? But anyways, bring that up like so, and that's how you want those two pieces looking. And now we need to extend the legs. You can see they're kind of folded up on some hinges down in here, so we need to extend the leg like so, and then you want to make sure everything is lining up like so, and you want these two silver dots placed like that once you're done extending the legs. So do the same thing on the other side. Bring that up. Sometimes you're going to have to use your thumb to hold it in place. Just push that into place like so, and once again, make sure those silver dots line up like that. And now to finish off the leg, we can bring these sections down on either side, come underneath here, and there is a tab slot connection for these wheels. So just bring the wheels underneath the foot like so and like so. And last but not least, take these panels and fold them back into the leg, and there you have his legs all done. And now we can move to the upper body. So the first thing we want to do is come here to this piece and just rock it forward for now. Then what we can do is come here and rock this piece up on the double hinge that it sits on. And then we can untab the arms here in the middle and bring them out like so. Bring this one out like so. And you can go ahead and straighten out the arm if you wish to do such. And now you can see there is a hinge right in here. So you want to rock the whole upper body back. So just get that whole upper body and rock it back. You can see the whole section there rocking back. And now you're going to want it to look like this from the front. Now we can take this piece and bring it down like so. What we can do here is make sure this piece is back out of the way, and take the arms and bring them up like so. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring that up. Then we can bring the arm down like so and like so. You want to pop the hand out. It will soft click into place, and then rotate 180 so the hand is facing forward. Do the same thing over here. Bring that hand out, soft click into place, rotate 180 so it is facing forward properly, and there you have the arms all done. Then what we can do is come back here, and we want to take this piece right here and pop it up like so, so it's facing upwards, and then take this whole section and rock it forward like so, and then we can take his head and angle it forward so he's looking straight ahead. And last, we want to come back here and flip these two sections inward like so and like so. You will see you have two posts on either side for these two ports right here. Just bring that up, tab all that in, make sure everything is angled properly, and then come back here and you can close this piece up to give him more of a shelled backpack there. And there you go. There is Bumblebee in his robot mode. And overall, I am pretty impressed with this little guy. I think they did a great job. I wasn't expecting much from this figure, but it's actually a really good looking Bumblebee. But coming in here close on the head sculpt, you can see right there, you have the blue eyes with some white for the faceplate. And of course, just a typical G1 Bumblebee head sculpt with the Autobot logo there in the center of the chest. You can see some of those blues there from the alt mode still popping out. Very simple to keep it game accurate. Down here on the feet, you can see those headlights and whatnot. But overall, just a bunch of yellow and black. Not many picked out details, just to keep it nice and simple like in the game. You can see there, not much of a backpack, but overall, pretty good looking Bumblebee here in robot mode. And when it comes to articulation, Bumblebee can move pretty well. The head is on a ball joint, so it can wiggle waggle very nicely side to side. He can look way up due to how he transforms. He can also look slightly downward, and of course the head can get a full 360. These shoulders are on ball joints. They can get a full 360 and move in and out. You do get a bicep swivel at the elbow. You get very slightly over 90 degrees there. Nothing at the wrist. At the waist, you do get rotation. Very nice. Kick forward that far, backward that far, outward. You can get the full split going. You do get a thigh swivel at the knee. You get about 90 degrees of bend there. And at the ankle, they can slightly pivot up and down. They do not rotate, but you do get a slight ankle tilt there. So overall, you get all of the articulation you would expect from a modern day deluxe figure. And if we bring back in his accessories, he can, of course, store them. Actually, he can only store one if you want to be instruction accurate, but I'll show you how you can store the other two. So basically, with this one, you just plug it here on the back, like so. And these two, no, there's not anywhere to plug them. I guess you could technically plug them right here, where you did in alt mode on the back of his heel, if you want to do that, but that looks a little awkward. But the storage I'm talking about is you can just kind of throw them back in here, like so. That can be your storage, even though they're going to fall right out. But hey, it is a type of storage if you want to store them. But he can wield all three weapons. This back one you just plug into the hand, but for these two, they're the same. You just plug them into the hand. So just plug one there, plug one there, and there you go. Now Bumblebee is ready for battle. And now for some robot mode comparisons. First, here is Bumblebee with the Studio Series Devastation Sideswipe, the Studio Series Devastation Wheeljack, with the Studio Series Devastation Optimus Prime, and finally with the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. And this is the topic that everyone talks about, the big battle between which one's better. I personally think they're both really fun figures. If you're looking for a better all-around figure, yes, I think this new version definitely gets the job done. But if you're looking for a G1 accurate version, I don't know. I'm kind of shifting between the two. Alt mode, it definitely goes to the 86 version. Robot mode, I'm still leaning towards the 86 version, although there are some aspects of this Devastation version I like better. Overall, I think it is a battle. Figure-wise, I prefer this new one, but looks-wise, I might prefer the older version. But let me know what you think in the comments. Which Bumblebee do you think is better? And for our non-figure comparison, here is Bumblebee with a CG image of how he appeared in Transformers Devastation, so you can see how close they got this figure to what they were going for. So this has been my review for the Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition Deluxe Class Bumblebee from Transformers Devastation. And overall, I think this is a really good figure we have on our hands here in a robot mode. He looks really great in alt mode, a very solid alt mode. The transformation is very fun. I definitely think he has a great transformation. Very fun to go back and forth between modes. Accessories he comes with are pretty solid, coming with 3 accessories as a deluxe is very nice, and the articulation is also very solid. Everything you would expect from a modern day deluxe. Maybe could have had some wrist rotation, but due to the way he transforms, I can see why they did not include that. But overall, I think this Bumblebee is super solid when comparing him to the 86 figure, as most people are doing. As I previously said throughout this review, I think overall as a figure, this guy is definitely better. So if you want a better all-around figure, I would definitely go for this Devastation version. If you want a G1 accurate looking figure, I'm not sure. It's a toss-up between the two. Alt mode definitely goes to the 86, but robot mode, it's in a battle in my head. I'm not sure which one's better, so I'll let that decision stay up to you. But overall, I think this guy is super solid. He is part of the A-level assortment of Studio Series, so if you want to find this figure, you should be able to find him at pretty much any Walmart you go to. They get all kinds of A-level assortment figures, especially in my local area, so definitely check your Walmarts if you want this figure. He's also, I'm sure, available online somewhere. But if I had to rate this Bumblebee on a scale of 1 to 10, he's going to get a very solid 9 out of 10. I am a big fan of this figure. Not much to complain about here. Definitely definitely pick this guy up, especially if you can find him on sale, which usually the A-level assortment figures will go on sale eventually. Then definitely pull the trigger on this guy. A great figure that I wasn't expecting much from, but I'm super happy to have in the collection. So this is my review for Devastation Bumblebee from Studio Series. Don't forget, never sacrifice the things you love for the approval of others. I will see you all soon with more reviews, and until then, roll out. Peace.